Hello, I'm Lorian Mariachi, and this video is about self-care and self-love versus self-improvement and self-help. Now, whenever I go to a wedding or a wedding shower, I always tell the couple-to-be that love is a verb. Now, part of this is because I'm an English teacher and I'm just showing off that I know what a verb is, but a big part of it is the idea that love, the action, is much more important in relationships than love, the noun or feeling. So for those of you who have parents or children or siblings or a significant other, and if you've had these relationships for much time at all, even just a few years, you realize that love, the noun, the feeling, not always there. People irritate you, they anger you, they hurt you, and when they do these things, you're not feeling the love. However, love, the action, is something that we have complete control over at all times. So even if you're not feeling the noun love, you can do the verb love or the action. So if you have a significant other who never puts the toilet paper rolls in, like never replaces the roll when they use the last one, you're not feeling the love. However, if they get caught with no toilet paper, you can do the action of love, the verb, and you can give them the roll of toilet paper if they end up in need. So the reason that I like the idea of self-love is because self-love is the action, it's the act of loving yourself. And it's the same thing with self-care. It's the act of caring for yourself. Now, you're not always going to love yourself, right? We make mistakes, we fall short, we have flaws, and sometimes because we know all of our thoughts and feelings, we feel like terrible people, because if anybody else knew we thought that or felt that, they would also think that we are terrible people. And so we don't always feel the love for ourselves. However, we can still do love, the verb, and love ourselves and care for ourselves with our actions. And that's what all of this channel is all about, is caring for ourselves and loving ourselves. So you might be wondering, okay, so self-love, self-care, I get why you like those. However, what's wrong with self-improvement when we're loving ourselves and when we're finding and enacting these tiny habits that make our lives better for ourselves? Isn't that improving ourselves? Isn't that self-improvement? To which I say, yes, but. So again, English teacher, journalism professor, journalist, storyteller, words are super, super important, and especially when we're using words on or against ourselves. So the underlying premise of self-improvement is that the self is deficient as is, not enough, and therefore needs improvement. And that's not true. Every single one of us, all human beings, are already lovable, we're already capable, and we already deserve to be loved and cared for exactly as we are right now. We are not trying to improve ourselves so that we are more worthy or more deserving, or so that we become worthy or become deserving. We already are worthy. We already are deserving. And so the idea of self-improvement is just not a good place to start if you can avoid it, because the underlying message with self-love or self-care is that we deserve to be loved, which we do, that we deserve to be cared for, which we do. Now, okay, so you're with me, right? You're like, okay, so love's a verb, care's a verb, these are things that you can do even if you're not feeling it. I'm with you, Lorian, I agree with you. Self-improvement, primary premises, yeah, I could see where it would be like deficiency or whatever, but what's the deal with self-help? Isn't help good? Isn't help a verb, Miss English teacher? Well, yes, but so here's the thing with help, okay? So With love and care, the primary supposition is that you deserve love or that you deserve care. With improvement, the primary supposition is that you are unworthy as is, that there needs to be some improvement to become worthy, that that's a goal and not an accepted premise. Now, help. Okay, so there's this thing called Karpman's, Karpmans, dreaded drama triangle. And this guy, Karpman, did tons of research, decades of research, and he came up with a triangle, and it's like this, right? So it's like an upside down triangle. And there's a victim down here at the bottom. But in order for there to be a victim down here at the bottom, there have to be two people up here on the two top corners of the base. Well, it's typically the base of a triangle for our geometry buffs, but here it's the top. So the two people, it has to be a bully, so like an antagonist, and the other one is the helper. This was mind-blowing when I first learned about this, okay? Because I was like, okay, so I get victim and bully, and there has to be that kind of dynamic in order to have a victim. You have to have somebody bullying them. But what's the deal with a helper? Isn't a helper a good thing, right? If your tire breaks down in the pouring rain on the side of the road, and maybe you don't have a jack in your car, or maybe you don't have a spare in your car, like, isn't help a good thing? Don't you want someone to stop and to help you by loaning you a spare, or, you know, loaning you their jack so you can put in your spare, or whatever? Don't you want help? Help, good, right? Help is a good thing, and it's a verb. So self-help should be great, right? Because it's you helping yourself. However, what Karpman says, and what is true if you really kind of think about it, is that the reason that you have to have a helper to have a victim is because there's something inherent in the idea of help. That if you are the helper, that you have something that the victim doesn't have. Or in this case, we'll say helpee, right? So the person receiving the help needs something that they don't have in and of themselves, that you or some other person, some outside source, has to bring to the situation in order for them to be okay. The victim, in this case with the jack, the helpee or the recipient of the help, they don't have a jack. They don't have what they need to be successful in the situation. And so they can't be successful unless this third party swoops in with something that they don't inherently have or intrinsically have. In this example, it is a car jack, right? So that they can jack up the car and change the tire. So when we talk about help, again, it's this idea where, just like with self-improvement, we're kind of victimizing ourselves. And so when we say that we need to help ourselves, we're saying that ourself doesn't have the resources that it needs to be okay on its own, that it's inherently missing something or lesser than, so that there has to be this other thing that comes in to provide the help. And that's what we're really trying to avoid, is that paradigm. Anything that feeds into that paradigm that you are not already enough, that you are not already lovable because you are already lovable just the way you are, that you're not already capable because you're already capable just the way you are, and you already deserve to be loved just the way you are. So please, as you move forward in your lives from this video, please think about this idea, and not just of our videos on this channel, but in anything that you're doing in any area. You're not helping yourself. You're not improving yourself. If you want to go out and find ways to provide yourself with the love and care that you need and that you deserve, that is self-love. That is self-care, because you're already enough just the way you are. So you don't need to be improved, and you don't need to be helped. Well, just quick little asterisk. I don't know what the hand signal is for the asterisk, but whatever. Just a quick little asterisk in that. We have a video coming out on the idea that sometimes professional help is important. And I know a lot of you automatically go to the idea of a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a therapist, but I'm talking about in all areas, like a financial coach or a career coach or a physical trainer or a physical therapist. So there are times when there are problems that are so large and so severe that we really can't heal or function without someone who has extensive training and resources in the areas that will help us. Like, again, with our example of the jack, we're not going to be able to manifest a jack that's going to be able to help us to change our tire and save ourselves from the situation. There are sometimes that it is a real and tangible fact or a real and tangible truth that we need help. So I'm not trying to say that that you never need help, or that there's not ever times, like, if you have a disease, you need a doctor, you need medical treatment to help you with that disease. So that's not exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that who you already are right now is enough to deserve having yourself identify those needs and meet those needs, because you already deserve to be loved and you already deserve to be taken care of. And when you identify those needs, you are loving yourself and you are taking care of yourself. So when we are working on ourselves, or doing the work as a buzz phrase, a catchphrase, what we are doing is we are showing ourselves care, self-care, and we are showing ourselves self-love, because we deserve that love and we deserve our care. So please don't belittle yourself by making this about improvement. It's real, that frame of mind is really important, because we don't want to damage our self-esteem while we are trying to show ourselves the love and the care that we need. So you are already lovable just the way you are. You are already capable just the way you are, and you already deserve to be cared for just the way you are. So until next time, please take care of yourself, because you deserve it.